think part of the reason why I'm a good writer is because I don't want to say that all writers are this, so like if you're a writer out there, don't get paranoid. But I think part of writing is that you can do it, you don't have to talk to anybody. You can do it in your room with your door locked, and you can be doing it solo. And I was a loner, locked up in my room, which was perfect. And I learned how to write, and you know, when I was talking and stuff, it wasn't really appreciated. My parents would always tell me to shut up whenever I was talking, so I learned to shut up, and so I would communicate by writing. And I became a really good writer, and my goal when I was a kid is I wanted to be, well, I had a few things I wanted to do writing. One of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to write comedy, so like I wanted to write for National Lampoon magazine, okay? And the other one was I like sports, and I wanted to be a sports writer and like cover, I wanted to cover like the LA Kings, okay, because I like hockey. And what I wanted to do as my avenue, my road to get there, was I wanted to go to a journalism school. So I applied to like the best journalism schools in America, and then it happened to be that I got accepted to the best one in the country, and I was like blown away by that.
Which one was that?
It's at Northwestern University. It's called Medill School of Journalism. So yes, I am a Medildo. And I went there and I got in, and I was just like blown away that they took me, because they take a very few people every year, and they have like a lot of applicants, and I was really blown away that I got in. And I went in, and I hated it there, which was really sad because I looked forward to going all this time. And I got there, and it's in Chicago, which is like frozen hell. Chicago's like the worst city in America, and I hope the Blackhawks lose tonight. I hated Chicago. It's frozen, it's ugly, and I had a terrible time there, and I bailed. And there went that dream. So I was only there for like a year.
What did you hate about it aside from the weather?
It was depressing. It was depressing. I'm from LA. I'm a surfer. I need the sun. I have to be attached to... I have to have as a given that it's a nice, warm, blue sky day when I wake up. That's a given, because it's going to be depressing enough with everything else going on in my life. But at least it's not ugly out and cloudy. And in like Chicago, we went like 90 days without seeing the sun, and it's horrible. I don't know how anyone can live in a place like that. You know, it's like we have like what, like it's cloudy here like 2 weeks a year or something. So you go, okay, it's cloudy though for the, you know, today. Well, I'll just stay in and get some stuff done on the internet or whatever. You know, so like you won't go up, but like every other day it's like beautiful out. Like today, it's gorgeous, right? You know, yesterday I went to the beach. You know, and I'm a surfer. I gotta be near the water. I gotta surf. I gotta be able to walk and go to the beach every week or so. I gotta be attached to that. You know. Lake Michigan with the frozen ice on it, that doesn't quite cut it. And it was just depressing to see all that. And with everything else that was going on, I was just like, I can't do this. And I can't be in a place like that. I can't live in a place like that. That's why I don't think I'll ever... I know I won't leave Southern California. Because there's very few places that I could ever be happy in. And Southern California is one of them. Or is it? This is the only place in America that I would pick up and move to would be Hawaii. If they had like a Jewish community was like set up, I could get kosher food and whatnot, and it wasn't so damn expensive, I'd move to Hawaii because it's beautiful there. It's gorgeous, you know, and there's waves, and it's just nice, you know. And that's how I look at Southern California. Although it's crowded now, there's just so many people here. You know, these foreigners from Australia keep showing up at us, and you know, it's terrible. You know, and
what kind of student were you?
Growing up, I would say I wasn't bad. I mean, you know, I wasn't terrible. I was good enough to get into Northwestern.
What was your SAT?
I don't remember. It wasn't like off the charts, I can tell you that. I think the first time I took the written, I scored mentally retarded, but it was discovered that I needed glasses. I couldn't read anything, so I couldn't read what was going on. So I had to get glasses and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say I was an off-the-charts student or anything like that. But I got accepted to Northwestern, so ha.
Have you always believed in God?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Wait, I took a break from that though. I'll tell you this. Why? I'll tell you. It's like 3 parts. Can I tell you this?
Mhm.
Okay. I grew up, I had a very strong belief in God. And I was able to, like, at 4 or 5 years old, conceive of things that I find today that people who are my age, people in their 40s have a really tough time understanding how God can be non-corporeal, how God could be invisible, how God takes up no space, he's above time and space, how the entire physical universe can fit within, like a neuron in God's brain, and that God's brain doesn't even take up any space. Like, these abstract concepts, I had that down when I was 4 or 5. That wasn't a problem to me at all. I got that. I got the idea that, like, you break down the electrons and the protons and the photons and the croutons, and, like, in there, that could be the entire universe. I had no problem with that. No problem. And I always believed in God growing up. And then, see, here's the thing about it. When I got 18 and I left the house, that's when I started, like I said, I deprogrammed a lot of the bullshit that I had grown up with my parents. It started to, like, click in that all this crap that I had grown up with wasn't right. And I had to clear out everything, so I had to do a complete reboot. Now, Rashi points out that every time there's false, you can't sell it. You can't sell a bag of lies unless there's some truth in it. So there was some true things that, my parents taught me and whatever, but I had to get rid of everything. I couldn't figure out what was true and what was false. I just knew that they had fed me so much bullshit growing up that I had to dismiss all of it. And so at 18, I started deprogramming, and I started rebooting, and I started clearing out all my files, and I just took everything that I had been taught and told and just dismissed it. And whether it came from, school, Judaism, whatever it was, it didn't matter. I had to get rid of everything and start fresh. So for like the next 3 years, I'd say I went on an exploration, and I sort of was like doing my own thing. And during that time, I'm going to say I didn't believe in anything, because I needed to know. Belief isn't going to work for me. Not from even to this day. To this day, I don't believe in God. I know that God exists. I can prove it. I have proven it. I can prove that the Torah is the truth. And because I know that with 100% certainty, that's why I'm from. Because I'm not going to do something just because I believe it's true. I only do it because I know it to be true. And because I know it to be true, therefore I'm compelled to do it. Because it'd be stupid not to do something that you know is true. That's the only reason why I follow the Torah.
Would you say you have a relationship with God?
Yes.
What?
I would say it's a rocky relationship.
Tell me about it.
I absolutely know that God is involved 100% with every single thing that I do in my life, all day long, every day of my life. I know that all the problems that I've encountered in my life are because God allowed them or caused them to happen. I absolutely know that to be fact. It drives me crazy and depresses me to no end to know that God has done a lot of this stuff to me. And when did he start doing it to me? By allowing me to be born into that house, knowing what would happen to me with my abusive parents. And it's really hard to overcome that. And that makes it really difficult for me to ever trust him. Because he burned me there, okay, and this, like, every single thing that's happened to me ever since then, whatever I do, he burns me. And the brachas have never been there for me. Whether it's a bracha for marriage, whether it's a bracha for parnasa, I have done so much what they call hishtadlus, footwork, to make so that the bracha can come down. I have done enough work that so many different areas that would make it so easy for him to give me a bracha for, really good parnasa. And people would say, that's not a miracle. That looked, all derech hateva. That just looked natural. But it's not there. No matter what I do, it always ends in failure. It always turns to shit. That is the story of my life. I would not want to get close to me if I was somebody else, because it's going to turn to shit. Whatever it is. I touch it,